Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful everywhere, I hope. But it's beautiful in my neck of the woods. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith, and I hope it's lovely in your part of the country.
Yeah, it's sunny South Florida, so it's really lovely right now. The weather, we have good weather majority of times of the year. I heard it's still kind of cold up north. People are saying it's still kind of cold up north, which is kind of interesting. But in April, it's still cold.
Yeah, that they can shoot. I didn't growing up in Chicago. I done seen a snowbank not melt to damn near May. So it can go that way sometimes. But personally, I just wanted to let you know I did not go to the podium to let people know I didn't have nothing to do with Epstein or Melania. I ain't in that.
I know that was weird. All of a sudden, she wanted to speak out about it. Okay, I think Trump must have put her up to that. Talking about he didn't know. That doesn't even make any sense.
But they just happen to be husband and wife. So why would he know? And then the other part is, I don't know. They might tell him, and he might forget the next second. He kind of strange in his own self, otherwise known as mental finance, and all that other good stuff. But this week on Shout Out, we have performances from PhilAhsophie. Will they find this shining star? Get the cold feel of the mute button. First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the players of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Yukon Huskies are flapping their wings and trying to fly far away from a loss to the Michigan Wolverines in the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Was this a game decided by better coaching, players who were more determined, missed free throws, missed shots, missed opportunities, or a combination of it all? UConn was highly favored to win it all. Did they take their eye off the ball? Michigan was the number one team. Did they feel disrespected? Does the win or go home nature of the tournament ferret out the best team? George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? I mean, let's just face this. Michigan basically won that championship because of stifling defense. The Huskies shot 30.09% from the field and only 27% from the three-point line. Also, the Huskies uncharacteristically was not disciplined and fouled a lot. Michigan was 26 of 28 from the free throw line. The Wolverines were a more physical team than the Huskies. They dominated with 61 combined points in the paint and free throw line. And UConn struggled all game with poor shooting and foul trouble. But to me, most importantly, they could not capitalize off of missed opportunities. They had 22 offensive rebounds and only scored 19 points off of that 22 offensive rebound. So it's a combination of missed shots and missed opportunities that propelled the Wolverines to a victory. Coaching to me was not a deciding factor. Both staffs are elite. I mean, when it comes to championship games, I'm just going to say coaching usually doesn't lose the game. It's about the execution of the team. So is that a coaching issue? I don't think so. It's just the team the team didn't execute. Now, UConn definitely didn't take their eye off the ball either, because I'm not sure why our producers thought they were heavily favored, because they weren't heavily favored. The Wolverines were heavily favored to win the championship, especially after they destroyed Arizona. I mean, at the beginning of the season, supposedly Duke was the ranked team that was heavily favored to win the championship. So as far as I'm concerned, Michigan wasn't disrespected. They did what was predicted for them to do, and that was to win a championship. So it was UConn that was a surprise team being in that championship. To be honest with you, nobody really expected UConn to be in the championship. They expected them to get to the tournament, probably to the Elite Eight, but not even to the four, down to the 4 teams. So, no, Michigan shouldn't feel disrespected. They did what they were supposed to do, and they won. It was a close game now. I mean, that to me was considered interesting, considering the way Michigan destroyed Arizona. I actually thought the game between Michigan and Arizona was basically the championship game, but the way Arizona played, that was definitely not the championship game. They had a terrible showing. So anyway, but no, the Michigan Wolverines were the favorite, and they won. All right, Spitface, what you saying about this?
The one thing I'm going to say is that I do think that the nature of the NCAA tournament, the one and done, you got to win, I do feel it ferrets out who is the big dog. Because if you get through, the gauntlet, and you the last one standing, well, you were the team. So the Dookie Dukes, might have been heavily favored all season long, and the Wolverines end up being the last one standing. I think that that's the fun of the NCAA men's. But I do see that Kevy Kev and that guy naked with that bearskin rug that flew in. So I'm going to toss it back to you, First Lady, so you can toss it over to one of them.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, Kevy Kev, what's up? Tell us how you felt about the championship. Out of those situations, was it coaching that won it for the Wolverines, or was it missed free throws, bad shots? You tell us what you thought about it.
I think this is one where the experts in Vegas got it right. I think right before tip, it was 5.5, 6 points. That's kind of where the line was. And as you said, the rebounding edge went to the bigger team, which was Michigan. Most people thought if you just looked at the potential of putting kids into the NBA and long-term careers, you probably would pick more kids off the Michigan team than Connecticut. I think for all his gyrations and goofy faces and taking off and putting on his jacket and, all the histrionics, you got to give Hurley his due as a coach. Wasn't expected to be in a couple of those games down the stretch. And his team was always prepared. They played the pace of the game that they wanted to. They kept it in the 60s. They just couldn't make enough shots, which just goes back to they're just not as talented as Michigan. I'd call the coaching a draw in this game. I really like Hurley as a coach. I could deal without the histrionics, but you got to give him his due. And that comes a lot for me because I still a little tender over the Rebels losing to Duke and his older brother back in the day.
All right. Disney Mac on your bearskin rug. What do you think about this situation? What was the reason that the Wolverines beat the Huskies?
Well, the Wolverines beat the Huskies by executing. They were able to get a little bit of a lead and hold on. Connecticut didn't shoot well. They didn't shoot it well. They missed shots and it hurt. But Michigan got out to the lead and they were able to hold on and do what was necessary. So, hail to the victors.
All right. Spitface, you want to continue to comment or you want to move on?
No, we can move on, First Lady. And like I said, the thing, I love the tournament. It ferrets out the best.
I know you mentioned about the tournament and the one and done, but to be honest with you, I don't know how else they would be able to do it because, it gives you, they're not going to play series. So I actually think sometimes the one and done doesn't actually let you know who the best team is. It is who the best team is that given day, because any day on a given whatever day, somebody can beat somebody. And we've seen that where a 16 seed can beat a number one. It's happened a couple of times. But anyway, there's no other way to do it, but it is one of the most exciting tournaments that you have in sports right now. All right, Spitface, over to you.
All right, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass, go boom. Explosion, overpowering, over the competition, I'm towering. Record shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced, competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, Mama said knock you out, We're talking about the knockout punch to Steph Curry's highly anticipated return from injury by the Houston Rockets by being spoilers and beating the Warriors 117-116. Curry still put on a show for the fans in attendance at San Francisco's Chase Center with the Rockets leading by double figures. Curry fueled a late comeback attempt for the Warriors in his first game since January 30th. Curry finished with 29 points on 11 of 21 shooting from the field with 5 made three-pointers to go along with 4 assists and 2 rebounds in only 26 minutes off the bench. While the Warriors had the final shot, Curry's three-point attempt fell short, ending the game 117-116. Now, let's not forget old Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper, finished with 31 points on 10 of 17 shooting from the field with 3 made three-pointers, 8 boards, 8 assists, and 3 blocks in 37 minutes against his former team. With a 36-42 record, the Warriors hold the number 10 seed in the Western Conference with 4 games remaining in the regular season. Is it all over but the shouting for the Warriors? Even with Steph back in the game, Leroy Satchel Paige, Walter Buckler, Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking what you saying. And what I'm saying is, Warriors, I almost go, if you make any playoff with a losing record, just pack it up. Just pack it up and start working on the next season. With Steph back, Steph can get into all the grooves and be playing phenomenal. Warriors ain't going nowhere. They ain't getting out that first round. Not even only the first round. They ain't getting out of the play-in or whatever. They just ain't. But but I do say that Steph still got something in the tank. And if he does not retire and the Warriors make a few good moves, he can go out. I don't think he'll go out with another ring, but at least they'll have a decent playoff run before he hangs up his sneakers. Busy Matt, what you say?
What I'm saying is this. Hey, get them knees and legs rested. Get them 2 weeks off, let them come back on their own, and get rested for next year. You got to have them rested for next year. You have everybody back.
Kevin Kev, what you saying?
I think this is a great opportunity for the PGA and the NBA to make a cross-pollination deal. Since your buddy can't stay on the road and is in rehab, And you're right, the Warriors are one and done, right? Just get Curry already on the golf tour. Let him play in the place of Tiger. That's what you should do. Because their season's over. It's done. They're not going anywhere, man. This is Max Wright. They're ready for the next season. Might as well sell some more tickets and both create some cross-pollination buzz. Hey, who knows? Is there a PGA player that might be able to play in the NBA? I don't know.
Hey, some of them got some height.
Right. All they need to do is just for a few minutes, not much, right?
You know, and it's not exactly like winning getting out of the play-in is a great achievement.
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, Steph is, he doesn't have a handicap, right? He whatever the par is for golf course, for most golf courses, that's what he is, right? So again, it's probably not enough to be making a living, right, on the PGA Tour, but he won't get embarrassed. He wouldn't get embarrassed on the PGA Tour. So that's the key, right? And you just want to sell tickets anyway, right? Have the fans have an opportunity to shake his hand, sign a few autographs. I could see it. He's going to make more doing that, get more attention than the one and done playoff game that they lose.
Kevin Cab, I think his agent might need to speak with you.
Yeah. I just take a nickel. I don't want everything. I just want a nickel.
Just get a credit on them when they roll up the street. Idea suggested by Kevin Cab. You say that's all. All right. Okay. And First Lady, what you say?
Well, I wonder if Steph is responsible for getting LeBron James on the golf course, because all of a sudden he seems to be into this golf game a lot. All of a sudden he was never into golf. To me, he's always trying to follow Michael Jordan. But anyway, that's another story, another conversation. But anyway, we're talking about Steph Curry. I mean, are you guys really selling the Warriors short? I mean, yes. I don't see them winning a championship, but can't they get out of the play-in at least? They've done it before. If you remember, I believe they were playing. Weren't they playing? Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember, but they've done it before. I mean, to me, right now, if they in the play-in, they either going to play the Clippers or the Portland Trail Blazers. And to be honest with you, if Steph Curry is the old Steph and he's back to his normal Steph, I think the Warriors can get into the playoffs. Now, once they get into the playoffs, it's going to be over because they more than likely, like, right, they're the 10th seed, so they got to play the 9th seed, and then they got to win between the 7th and 8th seed. So if they get into the playoffs, I mean, they'll be number 8, so they won't even have a shot of beating the OKC. Right, and like everybody said, it's a one-and-done thing in the playoffs. But I give them credit. They can get out of the play-in into the playoff, and that would be a major accomplishment for the Warriors. I mean, they have just been, unfortunately, a mess this year. Injuries have been a problem. Their defense is horrible. Things just have not worked out the way they were supposed to work out. So, but I still can say they can get out of the play-in. That, to me, would be their best goal to do that, to get out the play-in. That's all I'm saying.
Goals are a good thing. It's good to have a goal. First Lady, you have the last word. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from PhilAhsophie on Shout Out Part 1.
Bring Mr. Bond.
Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe. They get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from PhilAhsophie.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. We are featuring music from PhilAhsophie and their album, The Next Chapter. They say PhilAhsophie is a conscious hip-hop artist with an old-school soul, especially for lyrics with introspective and insightful content. His music has a 90s vibe to them, influenced by the golden era of hip-hop. All right, DJ, let's hear Every Day.
Still up in the struggle, dealing with situations, complications. Don't want to end up facing allegations. So if it don't make sense, that's a cancellation. On accomplishment, I put my concentration. To deliver a message, I give my declaration. I'm coming back from a loss through the desolation, so I can shine like the sun, that's illumination. See, I'm original style, where's my duplication? For airplay, my flow, put it in circulation, so I can vent like air, blowing through ventilation. Dropping another gem, setting a foundation. Man, I live and I learn, another education. Through the stratosphere to the brain stimulation. Those with negative thoughts, no cooperation. Instead of wasting your time, get an occupation. A rock in a hard place, giving me frustration. I'm having hope, knowing heaven is my destination. Every day, a brother's trying to find a way. That's what I'm really trying to say. In a struggle, there's really no time to play. Hoping one day everything will be okay. Be okay. Be okay. Every day, a brother's trying to find a way. That's what I'm really trying to say. In a struggle, there's really no time to play. Hoping one day everything will be okay. Be okay. Be okay. I see clearly now, 2020 vision. Through the storm and the rain, call this a new edition. Information is good, like having good nutrition. I'm trying to find a way success is a good position. When I'm keeping it real, no magical magician. Competition, be like a crooked politician. When you see me alone, eagles don't fly with pigeons. When I'm moving ahead, you could call it being driven. Hoping for my downfall, I'm laughing like Eddie Griffin. Know I'm a fan, showing me love and recognition. Using intuition, so I'm improving my condition on the expedition. I ain't tripping on deadlines, I'm sleeping on them, criticizing like bedtime. Having these dreams, the reason why I said rhymes. The planet is evil, I'm trying to keep a peace of mind. Every day, a brother's trying to find a way. That's what I'm really trying to say. In a struggle, there's really no time to play. Hoping one day everything will be okay. Be okay. Be okay. Every day, a brother's trying to find a way. That's what I'm really trying to say. In a struggle, there's really no time to play. Hoping one day everything will be okay. Be okay. Be okay. I believe in the future, that's what I stand on. Stuck in the dark, it's time to turn the lamp on. My struggle was like driving through a sandstorm. Some smile in your face before they transform, then fly away like imaginary unicorns. The situation I was born in, I tried to dress it up like a mannequin in Ralph Lauren. But when it starts raining, man, it starts pouring. Having opponents, they hate to see a brother scoring. They want to see you feeling miserable. Write a book about it, because the issue is critical. My lyrical art form, you get the visual. I'm listening to sermons, hoping for a miracle. Every day, a brother's trying to find a way. That's what I'm really trying to say. In a struggle, there's really no time to play. Hoping one day everything will be okay. Be okay. Be okay. every day. A brother's trying to find a way. That's what I'm really trying to say. In a struggle, there's really no time to play. Hoping one day everything will be okay. Be okay. Be okay.
Okay, all right. That's PhilAhsophie, but every day is going to be okay. All right, so let's go to the panel before we do that, I'll just give my opinion. I'm shouting it out. I'm going to shout it out. I was very pleased. It does have a 90s vibe to it. I agree. I thought the rapping was pretty good, to be honest with you. Didn't use any foul language nor bad words against women. Hey, can't go wrong with that in my eyes. So I am definitely shouting it out. All right. So let's go to the panel and let's see how they feel about this song. All right, Dizzy Mac, what do you feel? You're shouting it out or you hitting the mute button?
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and shout it out for the 90s. Yeah.
All right. Kathy Kev.
I'm going to shout it out. No misogyny. Yay.
And Spitface.
When he said 90s, and it did have that 90s vibe, and I was it had me thinking about Queen Latifah and Just Another Day. Yeah. And it's like, hey, I can roll with that. But he had one little piece in there, and I'm going, we might be the only people on the set who could have caught it. And that's when he said Andy Griffith. Now, I ain't trying to date anybody here.
Wait. What are you trying to say, Spitface?
I ain't trying to date nobody, but you got to have a little memory, or you've been watching VTV. I'm sounding out. I thought it was really, really nice track, and it was kind of reminiscent. I'm sounding out.
Okay. On part 2 of the shout out, we will feature another performance from PhilAhsophie. Is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
No one is free. It's flying at you. And we go forward into the world of wonder, lying there under, and
All right. Flipper seemed a little extra spry this morning. Which one of y'all snuck in an extra can of tuna? Which one of y'all did? Dizzy Mac will be on that bear skin rug. He got all sorts of stuff under that rug.
Yeah.
All right. It's time for Flip It. While hosts defend the point and then flip the script and defend the opposite view. Celtic center Nemias Queta wants to be the NBA most improved player. We wonder, should the 7-footer get the award? Defend, his play is improving, but he's not the most improved. Kevy Kev defend.
No, he's had a nice season. Don't get me wrong. With Tatum out, he's mattered, right? But if you're really talking about a team that we didn't expect to make a lot of noise, or a player that we were really that made a tremendous leap, I think you got to go to the Hawks with Nico Alexander-Walker. 20 points, 3.5 boards, 3.7 assists, almost hitting 40% from 3-point. I can't remember. Did they have a point guard that could shoot from 3 on Atlanta? Because it doesn't seem like they're missing, right? And then I think if you're looking at going back in time like you were earlier, I'm not going to go way back like you did, but if we go back to Mahorn and the Bad Boys in Detroit, Bad Boys 2, I think, is there, and leading the Bad Boys 2 is Jalen Duren. I mean, that guy is rough and tough. 10.5 boards a game, shooting 64% from the floor, almost 20 points a game. Oh, man. No team wants to brawl with the Pistons, and he's the first guy you definitely want to avoid out on the floor. 22 years. I think this is one where you go most improved, and then maybe you start talking about NBA All-Star. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Okay. Our eyeballs is looking. Dizzy Mac. Dizzy, quit playing with that bearskin rug and defend.
Hey, you know,
over there gnawing on the side.
Feeling good here today. Yeah. Like this rug. You know, I mean, he's got a case. He's got a case up there in Boston and Beantown. And, you know, I can feel him. But you have to go down there to Atlanta, like Kevin Kerr said. I think Mr. Johnson down there, you know, should be the most improved player. But, you know, he's got a case, but no. Can't give it to him. Can't even show it to him. You know, but take it all down the coastline there, down to Atlanta, and let them party with the trophy a little bit. You know, I definitely could see it being in Atlanta. But no, he does not have a chance. You know, Johnson is the man. It's the man that makes the demand. So yeah, we're gonna give it to him. All right. I'm glad you quit gnawing on your rug. You know we don't want to rag me on the edges. All right, First Lady, please defend.
I mean, he's a decent player, but I mean, Kevin Kev and Dizzy Mac already mentioned the top guys that are definitely going to be in the contention for this award, and that is Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Duren, Jalen Johnson. I'm going to throw another name out there who's having a better year than, his name is Queta, right? That's how you pronounce his name, Queta? Denny Avida. I can never pronounce his name for the Blazers. I mean, he's having a fabulous season also. He's definitely in the contention for most improved. So unfortunately, when you have these 4 guys that are starters, they've gotten started. They've been starting from the beginning of the season, whereas the Celtics center, I mean, he's a role player. He just came into becoming a starter in February, if I'm not mistaken. So when you're dealing with most improved, you're dealing from the beginning of the season to the end. You just don't come in February and then become most improved. But, you know, you got to give it to him. But, nah, he is definitely not on the level of those 4 individuals because, I mean, they have truly increased their output. And because Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I mean, that's Shea Alexander's first cousin now. When he was with Minnesota, he scored a little bit. You know, he wasn't scoring that much. But, I mean, he's become an elite scorer with the Hawks, as Kevin Kev has said. And Jalen Johnson, his trajectory has been increasing. He could have easily been, I mean, he was injured. That's right. He was injured out this most of the season last year. So, so I think you can give it to him for most improved. And Jalen Duren, he's obviously improved with the Pistons being number one in the East, and he's the number 2 guy on that team behind Cade Cunningham. So, those 4 guys are definitely way above Mr. Queta at this point in time. That's all I'm saying, Spitface.
All right. And we heard the defense on that side, but this is flipping. Well, we have to flip the script and defend the opposing view. Now, he wreaked havoc recently on the Raptors with 16 points in the first half and finished with 18 points, a game-high 5 offensive rebounds, and a game-high 3 blocks in under 34 minutes. Now, this impressive performance would have stunned T.D. Gardner in the past. Now it's just another game for Kute, the Portuguese center. Now, if he continues to play this way consistently, the award should be his. Unless we put in that 65 game rule or something, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Busy Mac the Fiend.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's doing everything a big man should do. Slipping screens, going to the hoop, doing the thing. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, bring that title to Beantown, baby. And who's talking about a gap year? A gap who? A gap what? Nah, man. Ain't no gap year here.
All right, okay. Kevin Care.
Well, here's the case, right? If he is going to win the most improved player, it's because Jalen doesn't get the most valuable player for Boston. He's way, way down the list, and I think he will be way, way down the list in that race. And Boston being the number 2 seeds, got to have something to suggest how they were able to get to the number 2 seed. Somebody on their team needs to be recognized on an individual basis. All right, let's give him most improved within that space. He held down the fort. His numbers didn't, score a ton more than his career average, but he did score about 3.5 points more than his career average. But he's just been solid and dependable. He's been doing a lot of the little dirty work. And as a result of that, that's why Boston's number 2 as a seed. So, reward Boston. It's hard for me to say it. It really is. My jaw got locked and everything. Don't make me do it again, man. Don't make me do it again.
Hey, we'll work on it. First lady, please defend.
Well, let's face it. Queta, he has become a legitimate contributor to the Boston Celtics, as Kevin was saying. Yeah, I think you do got to reward them for something. I mean, the thing with Queta, he's very good rebounder, shot blocking, presence. I mean, he can score it around the basket. I mean, I just watched him yesterday against my Knicks, and he was light on his feet around that rim. He had a lot of offensive rebounds. And so, he has shown a major upside to his talents from, he was a rotation player to a legitimate starting center. I mean, he didn't start in the beginning of the season, and that was one of the questions people had about the Celtics, like, who's going to be their center? They didn't re-sign Horford. They shipped, what's his name? They traded Porzingis. I guess they must have knew something about Porzingis' illness, but they shipped him out. They said he was not on the floor too much for them, so they shipped him out. So, who was going to be their starting center? So, they had somebody starting. I think I forgot who was starting. And they did trade for Vukovic, but he beat out Vukovic. So let's face it. I mean, you got to give him some props. Put him in contention for most improved. He says he deserves it. All right, then give him that trophy.
All right. Okay, First Lady on the wrapped up that defense. It's over to you, First Lady, for more flipping.
The Chicago Bulls are cleaning house and have sacked their upper management. Now, the question becomes, should they keep Billy Donovan as head coach? All right, Kev, defend. Billy was not the problem. He's a good coach. They should keep him.
See, this is why Reinsdorf is the evil genius, right? Because if he fires Donovan, then he owns it. He's brought the GM and the coach in at the same time. So whatever poop happens with the Bulls afterwards, he's got to own it. This way, as the evil genius, he hedges his bet. He keeps Donovan, right? That's what he's going to do. It's hard for me to the beloved Bulls have fallen down on tough times, really tough times. But, Billy's he's not the problem. He's not the problem. He's a solid coach. If he was fired the next day, there would be teams that would be after him in the NBA and as well as the college game. So he's not the problem. They should keep him. But really, Reinsdorf is not keeping him because he recognizes the talent. He's keeping him so he can avoid being the bad guy.
Okay. You don't want to be the bad guy. All right,
you don't want to be the bad guy.
Yep, Busy Mac defends.
Hey, wipe them crumbs off your chest, Billy Donovan, because you're staying. Like Jerry Cross used to have them crumbs, around his chin and chest. You can't blame the coach. The coach is showing you what he can do because you see Trey Jones and Colin Sexton and everybody else getting their numbers, doing what they're supposed to do. So it ain't the coaching. You fired the right two people. He's going to stay. He's going to stay under Reinsdorf, and he's going to eat them donuts, and he's going to have them crumbs around his chin and chest. So, no, you can't fire him because, again, he'll get swallowed up by another NBA team or a college team. So keep him in Chicago. Let him do what he's doing, which is wiping them crumbs off his chin and chest.
All right. So basically, Spitface, you want to speak on this, or you want me to continue on?
Go forward, First Lady.
All right. Okay. I look at it this way. Billy Donovan, the Knicks tried to interview Billy Donovan, and of course, the Chicago Bulls declined on him interviewing for the Knicks job. So my whole point is, if you didn't want him to interview for the Knicks, and I'm quite sure the Knicks would have hired him, then you definitely should clean house, but he's not the problem. And the problem really is ownership. That's the problem, and who they hired as management. They've made some bad mistakes as management. It just didn't really make sense what the Bulls have been doing last couple of years. So my whole thing is, Billy is a good coach. They should keep him. I mean, Billy could have gone to North Carolina. There was talks that he was going to North Carolina, but Mike Malone got that job. So what is Billy going to do? Keep Billy as the coach. You just need to get him better players, or get him a team that what type of style they're going to play so he can coach. They do have some good parts, but they need a much better organization as far as management. So let Reinhardt, let him think about the management part, and that manager, whoever the general manager comes in, president of basketball operations, they definitely should keep Billy. Billy is a great coach. All right, it's time to flip it. It's a new GM will want his own coach. Better to let Billy go now. All right, Dizzy Mac, defend.
Get rid of him. Get him out of town. Why didn't you stop at 2 when you could have got 3? Get him out of town. I'm telling you. He cannot coach. He couldn't coach the players he had, and he is showing you that, hey, he's not an NBA-style coach. Oklahoma City, Chicago, the man can't coach. Get him out of town. You could have wiped him out of town like you wiped the other 2. Get him out.
You don't have a vote of confidence. Get him out. All right, Kev. Clean house. Billy got to go.
Yeah, it's time just to start over and actually kind of just put him out of his misery. I'm sure in the meetings with Reinsdorf it hasn't gone well. He hasn't really brought in a GM. He hasn't really spent money to bring high-profile free agents to Chicago. Put the man out of his misery, right? Now, if you want to take a shot at Billy as it relates to it, I think it's unfair, but I'm going to do it anyway. When you look at what Eric Spoelstra has done over the last 5 years with the talent on the Miami Heat, reaching the NBA Finals twice, albeit one of those is a bubble, shortened season. And Jimmy Butler was probably a better player maybe than anyone on the Bulls over the last 5 years. But nonetheless, it's not an incredibly strong, talent-wise team there in Miami that Eric's been coaching. But he has coached the hell out of them. So maybe Donovan should have done better with the Bulls. Maybe it's just time to turn the page. Let's just start with a clean, fresh slate. Just get this bad taste out of our mouth. It's time for the Bulls to storm the NBA again. And where they are right now, it's hard to fill. It's hard to fill United Center. There's just nothing to cheer about. We need a new coach.
All right, we need a new coach. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to clean house, you got to clean all of your house. You just don't clean part of it. Once you start, you got to continue to clean. And unfortunately, Billy Donovan has to go. I mean, he has a 447% coaching record with the Bulls. He's won 225 games out of 254. I mean, they've had a bad season. He hasn't been to the playoffs with this team. Well, no, that's not true. They went to the playoff in 2021, 2022, which they lost in that first round. They haven't been out of the play-in. They've been into the play-in for the last several years, and they just couldn't get out. I think the Miami Heat beat them twice when actually they were favored both times. So, you know, his record really hasn't been that spectacular. They really haven't made it to the playoff but one time since he's been hired as the coach. So, I mean, that's what you need. You need a coach that's going to be able to get your team to the playoff. And your analogy with Eric Spoelstra was right on point, Kev, because if I wanted to say so, I think the Bulls had much more talent than Eric Spoelstra definitely had. I mean, because most of his players are players that they groom, you know, when nobody wants them. You know, they have a way of taking players that are not drafted, and they you know, he has a way of coaching. Even though the Heat, they've been bad so far in the last couple of weeks. But anyway, other than that, I say, yeah, it's time to clean house. When you want to start clean, you just want everybody to be gone. You don't want to leave a coach there and force that coach onto your new president of basketball operations. Let him or her bring in their own coach. All right.
I hear you, First Lady. Caleb Martin, Max Strus. I mean, these aren't household names, but they're playing big minutes in the playoffs and beating people, right? We just haven't had that. He's got to go. Yeah. He's got to go.
You know, it's funny, Max Strus so far, of all the Heat players, I'm just thinking of the players that had left the HEAP organization. Matt's Truth so far is the only one that has done really well at their new location. There's something about that HEAP culture, even though, like I said, it's always been New York culture because Pat Riley brought it from the Knicks. But anyway, it's about the HEAP culture where they play well in Miami, but when they go elsewhere, for some reason, they do not. They're not successful in with other organizations. But anyway, all right, Spitface, please take us to break.
Okay, and so break out the broom and clean house. On the other side of the break, we have another performance from PhilAhsophie on Shout Out Part 2. Please keep your ears glued to them speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right. It looks like on the second part of shout out, we are featuring another track from PhilAhsophie. We're going to hear the title track from this album, The Next Chapter. All right, man, let's hear that next chapter.
I had my observation within a situation deeper than the ocean abyss and underwater crustacean. This is real with no imagination, temptation, the struggle. I give the most high consideration. Consider this a presentation in the population information. Call it universal communication. Like an eagle in airplay, circulation. Thinking like Moses on the mountain. Meditation, looking out for these haters and evil operation. Sweating me disappear like evaporation. So I can stay focused, call it my concentration. Rising above this madness, my declaration. Writing to let my mind free, no limitation. Got a fan base now, that's appreciation. For my rhyming shining like stars in a constellation. I got skill on the mic, that's an explanation. My direction in life, that's a navigation. Food for thought, I'm using my articulation. For the next return, call it restoration. The next chapter. 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 Brothers trying to make it, I'm trying to do better under pressure. When it's chess and not a game of checkers. I've been through the storm and the rain, it's bad weather. My puzzle pieces in life, I'm trying to put together. Along with a few things in perspective. Knowing critics stay on your case like a detective. Sipping a haterade, but still ineffective. Keeping it moving in my own lane. When it comes down to it, I got more skill than Bruce Wayne. Without a political campaign. Some do it for the fame. I'm trying to put some knowledge in your brain and get you moving like dancers on a soul train. When I get a point across, that's not in vain. The road I traveled, I've been down some rough terrain. What I'm trying to achieve, that's the octane. The next chapter. 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 Just sitting back thinking with a cup of water drinking. My living ain't the skies past the stars twinkling. Why stay around stuck in some quicksand sinking? See, I'ma get knowledge until I'm old and wrinkling. I'm trying to get it like some good fruit. I got knowledge itself without some tight suits. I read history books, plus knowing my roots. I'm trying to play it smart. Why go and jump with no parachutes? We keep marching on like in a pair of boots. The message I get across like spoken parables. When I'm shining, no need to worry about your shadow. A Babylon's babble. Sigh, you like them apples, knowing life's a battle. The next chapter. The next chapter. The next chapter. focus, no hocus pocus. Coming a closer, throw my roses out of a situation looking hopeless. Trying to cope with life could be the coldest. No joking. In studio time, I'm outspoken. Lyrics are potent, smooth as lotion, effective without love potion. For the heartbroken, doors open. For the ones hoping, working instead of moping. Hurt but still chosen, without a ghostwriter. I know my skills are golden, knowing just what I'm holding. Having a good notion, without overposting. A sleeping giant now woken. Check it out, my essence. There's a message in my flowing. The next chapter. The next chapter. The next chapter. The next chapter. The next chapter.
All right, that was the next chapter. The guy on the bearskin rug, are you shouting it out or hitting the mute button?
I'm slamming that mute button. Should have stayed on the other chapter.
Oh, all right, PhilAhsophie. The mute button got hit on you. Let's see if we can get you out the hole. Kevin Kev, shout out or the mute button?
I think I'm going to have to lean more mute. I'm going to go mute. It didn't have enough of a vibe for wanting to follow it or get up off the couch and onto the dance floor. It just kind of like he was stuck in neutral on this one. So I think I'm going to have to go mute.
All right. Let's see what happens with the First Lady. Shout out or the mute button, First Lady. I think First Lady might be muted. Is that an indication?
No, that is not an indication because I must have been listening to the wrong song because I'm shouting it out. I kind of like PhilAhsophie. I thought he was one of our better rappers that we've had on the show, to be honest with you. I don't know what Kevy Kev and Busy Mac are saying over there because I was bopping to the music beat. I mean, I enjoyed the song myself. So, hey, much respect for PhilAhsophie. I'm shouting you out. I don't know about the other two, but I'm gonna shout you out.
Now, I'm listening to the track, and I was back in the day. I had my 40 ounce. You know, and my old English 800 too. And I had some chicken from Kentucky Fried when they used to be good. And too, I was the groove, but I'm shouting it out too, First Lady.
That's not what they were listening to.
Should have stayed on that other chapter.
I like the next chapter. I thought the next chapter was good.
Yeah. All right. PhilAhsophie, yeah, you got a split verdict on that. So, hey, that's a good thing. That is in the shout out. You can check out PhilAhsophie on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard to have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. And if you got a name that, I won't say, you got a unique name, you better send a clip or we will mess your name all up. First Lady, over to you.
Okay, coming at the start of the NBA playoffs, we'll have our hardwood picks. All right, it's time for the top story to watch this week. All right, I'll start with you, Spitface. What's your top story to watch this week?
The breaking news about the Fed's investigation into the NFL pricing across all these channels and streaming. You got to spend over $1,000, if you really want to watch all the games. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
What do you say? All right. Kevin Kev, what's your top story to watch this week?
My top story is, I'm going to go off script. I'm going to say, I see in the future Melania Trump referencing a relationship with one of the NFL owners, right? And it's going to be where they were. She's going to deny that owner was on a plane with Donald and Epstein. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, breaking news. All right. Okay. Busy Mac, what's your top story to watch this week?
Hey, where are they going? The portal is open. Where are the college basketball players going? Where are they going to land? The portal is open.
Okay. My top story to watch this week is the final seeding for the NBA playoffs and play-in tournaments. I mean, in the West, you got the 3rd, 4th, and 5th seed. That's between Denver, Lakers, and Houston. That's not settled. In the East, you got the Knicks and the Cavs, because I don't think the Knicks are going to catch the Celtics for the 2nd seed, even though they're 2 games out, 2 games left, and they do got the tiebreaker. And the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th positions are still not settled. So a lot of shakeup is going on in the NBA with the seeding. So that's my top story to watch. Check out our current and previous episodes at Bras, Panties, and Sports.com. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, along with Spitface, Kevy Kev, and Busy Mac. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.
Flipper, put that 40 ass down.
Hey.